Slamdown is sponsored by Body Slam and Jam and WWE Smack Talks. Welcome to another episode of Slam Down. I nearly said Slam Down podcast again. See, bad habits don't go away that easy. Welcome to Slam Down live stream. Today we're going to be covering everything about SmackDown Live. One thing I can say, it was definitely an improvement from the last show. I did say last week's show was a bit boring, but this show was 10 times better. To start off the show, they did have the title match with AJ Styles taking on James Ellsworth, where AJ Styles got the quick victory over James Ellsworth and then just started beating the crap out of Ellsworth. And I was happy about that. Even the fans started celebrating about that. Also, they did advertise the return of John Cena next week. The one thing I do find funny about them bringing back Cena is, in the past, Cena says he's never going to be like The Rock. He's never going to be the part-time. He's always going to be here for the fans. Okay, Cena, but now you're being part-time and you're not Rock. Okay. I can see how that one works, but okay. After that, we had the Miz taking on Apollo Crews. Now, Apollo Crews is a wrestler I really, really highly rate. I think he is being underused. I can't understand why they're keeping the title on the Miz. I know he's a good talker and everything else. I'd rather see the Miz actually going for the world title now. I think he's held that Intercontinental title enough. I'd rather see other people get pushed. I would have liked to see Apollo Crews get the victory, but I think they've dropped the ball with Apollo Crews. But Miz won, of course, again. Later in the night, we had Nikki calling out Natalya, having the confrontation about the attack on Nikki at Survivor Series. Carmella says she wasn't lying, everything else. Natalya chased Carmella up the ramp, and then later on, Natalya remits it. You could see it coming from a mile away. It was a bit predictable, but we also saw Carmella come to the aid of James Ellsworth as well, backstage, having a go at the interviewer, saying you can tell he's hurt, and everything else. After that, we had Dean Ambrose taking on Luke Harper. We saw Luke Harper lose and Dean Ambrose getting the victory. But then after the match, we saw the Riots coming in and attacking on Dean Ambrose And then The Miz came down and hit the skull crushing finale on the Dean Ambrose. So yeah. And that's another thing I forgot. That Renee Young smacked The Miz after saying about her and Dean Ambrose. So it looks like they're making an interviewer being part of a storyline. Right, okay. We saw La Luchador taking on Alexa Bliss and getting the victory over Alexa Bliss, and then revealing it was Becky Lynch. Which also we found out next week on their wild card show, it's going to be Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch for the title. We saw backstage that Kurt Hawkins mistaken shooters Ryan Phillips for Mark Wickerberg, and then he meets Mojo Riley. It was basically trying to use a celebrity to advertise something. It was boring. But we saw Mojo Riley taking on Kurt Hawkins in a singles match because Zack Ryder's injured at the minute, so they're sort of giving Mojo a singles run. It was quite an okay match. You know, they're getting Kurt Hawkins losing again, so just using him there to job. Not surprised. Main event, we saw Dolph Ziggler taking on Baron Corbin, which ended in a double count-out result in both superstars facing against AJ Styles next week. Got bored of Baron Corbin Ziggler match. Seen it too many times in the past. I mainly just fast-forwarded it. But when Ziggler and Corbin was outside the ring, AJ Styles was hitting them both with chairs, and that's when Daniel Bryan came down and said it's going to be this next week. I'm going to quickly go over the matches given start. The AJ Styles, James Ellsworth, it was a short match, but I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 because I'm just happy that he beat Ellsworth. The Miz, Apollo, 2 stars. Danny Ambrose, Luke Harper, 2.5. The Luchador Alexa Bliss was actually quite a good match. 3 out of 5. Mojo vs. Kurt Hawkins, 3 out of 5. Main event, 2 out of 5. It is a lot better. It's not spectacular, to be honest. It wasn't. But we do know next week is going to be the wildcard show. A lot of titles are going to be on the line. Yeah, I can't. There's not really much to it than that. I think that's it. Yeah, I can't really. Yeah, there's not really much to say about SmackDown. I'm trying to think of other things to say or talk about, but there really ain't that much. It's like at the minute, wrestling seems to be a bit stale. But yeah, what will end up happening, because I'm away for the Christmas break, it'll probably be because we're not on air next week, so we won't be on air Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So it'll be the week after that we'll be back on air, and I'll do a double where I cover last week's and that week's, because I'm going to be away for a while. So thank you for everybody watching. Have a good Christmas, and I will see you after Christmas. Happy holidays.